Good morning, everyone. This is Anthony with liveintheend.com, and over on our private Facebook group, and there's a link in the description to the private Facebook group. I did a video for them on letting go and what letting go really is, and this is where a lot of people get messed up because they hear people say that you need to let go of your desire. I hear people say that you have to let go of time frames and you have to let go in this and that Neville said this about letting go and so on and so forth. Okay, well, first of all, once you have a desire, you can't let go necessarily of that desire unless you finally give up on that desire. And every once in a while what happens is when you give up, you get to a point of indifference. And that indifference is what Neville Goddard is talking about when he says to let go. It's not so much that you're letting go of the desire. It's that you've come to a point where you understand that that you're there, that you have it already. You're coming to a point where you're in a position of having it, okay, in a feeling of having it. And that's what Neville is talking about, okay? Now, that's one aspect of it that you need to realize. But the bigger aspect that you need to realize is that when you let go, when people are talking about letting go, you need to let go of the old person that you were. That's the big gotcha. And that's where everyone is getting hung up, because they think that they can hang on to everything that they had in the past and then plus get what they want. All right? No, nothing could be further from the truth. Okay, and I've been a person that has done this as well. Okay, it's like, you know what? No, I want to hold on to this old raggedy teddy bear and stuff, or this old raggedy blanket, because it makes me feel good. You know, it's dirty, hasn't been washed in 15 years and stuff, but it still makes me feel good for whatever reason. Okay, everybody else is grossed out by it, but for some reason you want to hold on to it. Okay, and I'm using that obviously as a metaphor. So what you're letting go of is that old man. You hear Neville Goddard speaking about the fact that you have to die to the old man and become new. And this is what in the Bible the resurrection represents. You're dying to the old person that you used to be so that you can now become that new person that you want to be. The one that has that relationship, the one that has that job, the one that has that money, the one that has a car and the house. That's what you're doing. It's not so much that you're letting go of the desire, because that desire was given to you by God. You're not going to let go of that. You're not going to get rid of that. Okay? The only way that you're going to get rid of it is one, you either try and replace it with another desire, or you finally give up on yourself and you try and go, but that desire will still always be there. It's not going away. All right? So this is why you have people that they get into a relationship and so on and so forth, and then they find themselves years and years later thinking of the one that got away. You ever hear about that? That's exactly what's happening. All right? So let's say you have these coaches out there that are saying, you know, they read the book from Florence Scovel Shinn, and she's fantastic. I love her book. There's this one place in it though that I strongly disagree with, and we all know what that is. Whatever desire you have, you can have that desire. There is nothing in the Bible that tells you that you can have this and this and this and this and this. Oh, but you can't have this. Nothing whatsoever. It says whatsoever you desire, if you believe that you have received it, it is yours. Not with any exceptions, Not with, oh, but you can't have this, and oh, but no, that person is, that goes against spiritual law. No, it doesn't. It does not go against spiritual law. If you desire a specific person, you can have that specific person. Now, the question comes, who would you be to have that specific person? Even when Neville said that, are you sure you want that person? Okay. And this is something that I tell certain people too. I see a circumstance that comes up and stuff, and I say, okay, what do they have to compromise about themselves to get into a relationship with this person? And that's what Neville was speaking about when he said, well, what if you find out that the person is a murderer? Okay. You're compromising some moral aspect of yourself to get into a relationship with this person. And then of course the people come up with, yeah, but I can change them. Do you know how hard it is to, first of all, get past a lot of the issues that you have, a lot of old beliefs and dying to the old man? Okay, that's a task in itself. All right, there are some coaches out there that tell you, oh, it happens in an instant. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, but there's science that's behind these bodies that we live in. And that science tells us that through repetition, can you change certain aspects of your subconscious? That's just how it is. Okay. Now, once you make a decision on that, are you that person now? Absolutely. But we're making decisions and we're changing, we're moving from state to state in microseconds. And so when that's happening, we're moving from state to state in microseconds. You could be in one state where you say, I'm in a committed, loving relationship and so on and so forth. And then you're driving around and you see a billboard that reminds you of how the person really thinks of you, in that moment. And then you go back and you switch within microseconds. Okay. And so to combat that is where folks like Dr. Lipton and then Dr. Joe Dispenza speak about having to do things repetitiously to change that subconscious mind. Okay, and I know there's going to be a couple of people out there. Well, this coach says this, that there's nothing to do with self-concept. Okay, knock yourself out then. You go and try and do it without changing your self-concept, and then come back to me 6 months later and let me know how that went. Okay? Because everyone, if there's a coach out there that says that you can do this without changing your self-concept, I will tear that apart day in and day out. I don't care who that coach is. Because I will show them that they themselves have changed their self-concept. You have to change the conception of yourself. You have no choice. You have to change who you are being. The Bible tells us that, and so does everybody else. You cannot pour old wine into new wineskins. What they're saying there, what that whole thing is saying there, is that you cannot take old beliefs that you have and try to pour it into a vessel holding the new beliefs. The old beliefs will contaminate the new beliefs. You've got to get rid of all of that stuff. That's the whole premise behind the pearl of great price. Okay? And I know there's some of you that you get bent out of shape about Neville Goddard and stuff and what have you and stuff. And there's certain things that I don't believe, that I disagree with Neville Goddard as well. And many of you know what that is. Okay? Well, there's plenty of stuff, but because there is no one human that is perfectly right. There's not one. We're ourselves as a human, and even in thought with our brain, we have built-in limitations. And so when we are are thinking of stuff, we're thinking of it shaded by our previous thoughts and beliefs. All of us, even me. This is why I tell everybody, go do the research yourself. I've done it for 30 some odd years now. Okay? I used to want to believe that we could get past all of this without using without messing around with the self-concept, but you can't do it. You have to change the conception of yourself. So that's where repetition comes in. Okay? Drop the old person that you were, and within your internal conversations that you're having, view yourself in situations as that new person. Who would you be if you were in a relationship with that person? Who would you be if you had the job that you wanted? Who would you be if you were driving the car that you wanted? Okay? Be that person. Be the person that would be that. Find out what it would take to be in that relationship with that individual. Does that individual have a trust issue with you? Does that individual think that you're a mean person? Then change those aspects. Be the loving person of everything. Because folks, that's just what, I mean, even Neville Goddard said, have thoughts of good rapport. Think of good things and good things will happen to you. Think of bad things and bad things will happen to you. Don't be critical of other people. All right? Don't point out a specific person and, or a group of people. I see it all the time. And then those people wonder why they have problems with relationships. Okay? It's those people that are like, they love people and stuff like that. Those are the people that have fantastic relationships with whoever they're with. So be that person. If it's a relationship that you're looking for and you have had one bad relationship after another, you need to take that light and you need to turn it inward and find out what it is that you have beliefs about that are causing these bad relationships to show up in your reality. That's where all this is at. Die to the old man and replace that old man with the new man or woman. Or if you want to go gender neutral, then whatever term you want to use. But be that person. That's what letting go is all about. It's letting go of all the old baggage and the old person that you used to be that got you to where you are today, and becoming someone new. Move to the new. That person that you want to be already exists. That individual already exists. You just need to move there and claim it as you now. That's all you have to do. And then in every moment, be aware of what your internal dialogue is and change it when necessary. Okay? If you were in a relationship where there was honesty issues and stuff, or trust issues, you want to be a more trusting person, or a person that is trustworthy, then say that. And then be that person that is trustworthy. If you were a person that was always late, and you tell her, oh yeah, I'll be there on time, and then you're always 15 or 20 minutes late, okay? There's a trust issue there. Those people are going to have issues with you as far as being there on time. They're not going to trust that you're going to be there on time. So you need to be the person that is always on time. See where I'm going with this? It's all you, folks. It's all you. I have a bunch of clients that that don't want to let go of that. They want to continue being the victim. They've been a victim their whole life, and so that's really all they know. And so this is what I'm talking about with self-concept. It's a work in progress. They have to drop that victimness that they have so that they can become the person that they want to be, so that they can have the life that they want to have. But for many people, for most people, it's not a make one decision and boom, you're that person. I haven't met one person that's happened to. Not one. I don't know. Even coaches that say that, when you go back and you look at some of their old videos and stuff, you realize that there was a process there. You can pick it apart. You can see it. There is a process to this. If you're my age and you're just now starting, woo, do you have some baggage? This is going to be a process. And then once you get beat up enough, you finally realize that, you know what, I give up. Just tell me what it is I got to do and I'll do it. And here's the thing. You don't even have to believe it. You just got to do it. That's it. You just got to do it. Who do you have to be? You don't have to believe that it's going to work, because this is just it. You're not doing something to get something. You're doing something to be someone. We get who we are, not what we want. All right? Die to that old man and become the new man, and clutch that pearl of great price. Thanks for watching, folks, and remember, you've got this.